what I got today is a Musicilly vintage big block bridge. Some Musicilly locking tuners, haven't even opened them up yet, and some roller string trees. I always want to say string cheese, and it's tough. Anyway, they're gonna go on this Squier SE. I'm gonna set this to the side here. I just don't need that in the way when I'm doing this. So I'm gonna cut this out of here, see what we got going on for quality and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of the vacuum packing, but it's practical and it works. Nice. See if I can't cut this off without scratching anything. Without cutting myself, really. There we go, there's that. Set to the side there. Yep, it's a whammy bar. Let's see this bridge. Nice, I like the black screws. The springs feel decent. They don't feel like super cheap springs. And the goodie bag with all the screws and trim claw and all that is probably melted right into this bag right here. So just dump it out. Springs, screws, nice screws. Get yourself a nice little, there's the other trim screw. Put that in with the rest of your 1,000 Allen wrenches you probably have. Springs over there, nice. That's a nice big old trim claw. I like it, nice big old wide one. And well, it's got the protective. It's just a piece of paper, but if you look right, where's my camera? Right there. Come on, focus. You can see it says Wilkinson. So this is a Wilkinson bridge by Musiclily, and this is actually a push-in. Push that in. That's what that. That's probably what that's for. That Allen wrench not only works as a to adjust the height of the saddles, but you can also tighten that up there. It's a push-in. I don't know how I'll like that just yet. But it's nice and stiff. I do like that. It's not like a ratcheting one. Yeah, that's as far as it goes. That's good. It's not too bad. Doesn't sit up too high. We'll see how it works when we put it on. But you can also always tighten up that plastic piece in there just a little bit more. And it sits in there pretty nice. We'll test it out when we put it all back together. Get that garbage out of the way. And let's take a look at these tuners. Trying to get underneath without scratching them. They have a nice weight to them. They could be a little cleaner. But I think they're only like 15 bucks for a locking tuner. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, don't expect them to be, you know, top of the line quality. But they're decent looking locking tuners. And this right here, I'm probably just going to have to cut it out again too. Because once they put that plastic on there, everything melts together. First thing I'm going to do is change the tuners and the trees. And then we'll work on the tremolo. All right, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8 washers. All right, 8 washers and 6 screws, and hopefully these screws aren't like butter like a lot of screws are for tuners. And lastly is your typical roller trees, and there's 2 sets here. What can you say? They're roller trees. I'm replacing today is stock, and there ain't a whole lot left on here that's not stock. So I'm all right here. I might as well just do this. So let's take a look. I'm gonna put the trim block on. It's a nice thick block. It is zinc. I don't think I'll be able to tell the difference. I like the weight of it though. And it appears to be 36 millimeter. So 36 millimeter, that would probably fit in my Affinity. I don't need the trim screws or the claws anymore. Decided I wasn't going to use those. Do a straight setup, and then we'll come back and maybe I'll noodle around a bit. So it's been a little while since I made the other parts of the video, and I've got everything back together and intonated, and I'm ready to kind of get my pros and cons on the thing. Let's start with the tuners. You saw the tuners. I'll come up and get a little closer. The tuners are your basic. They're just very basic locking tuners from Musicilly. They cost about $15 and some change before taxes. And they're $16 locking tuners. They serve their purpose. They keep it in tune for the most part, make it easy string changes, but don't expect you know, top of the line product at bottom of the line prices. They'll work. I wouldn't go gigging with them. I wouldn't rely on them for, like I said, a gigging musician. I wouldn't rely on them for a studio musician. But for a simple budget tuner, they'll work. The string trees, on the other hand, are perfect. I mean, you can't really screw up a string tree. So they're very nice string trees, and they're not very expensive either. They're about the same price as any other set of string trees are. Now let's get to this Wilkinson bridge. I'm going to get a little up close and personal with you now. So, they got the Wilkinson logo right up here. It would have been better if it was down here, because this top saddle right here kind of covers it and you can't really see. Like I said in the unboxing, the black springs and screws add a nice accent to it, and the springs aren't just a cheap, really wiry spring that you might find on some of the other on some lower end bridges. Very nice, and I like the black grub screws, and I'm just a sucker for bent steel saddles. And everything else, I did end up using my own springs and my own trim claw in the back there, just because the claw was already there. I didn't feel like unsoldering and unscrewing it. But the springs that came with it had a little too much tension for my liking, and I didn't want to back that claw out of there any further. So I reused my old springs, which ended up working out perfectly. Let's talk about the bar. I really like the bar. The fact that it just goes in and out. I might find something to put it in there so it doesn't go in so far, because as you can see right there, that light is bright. Right there, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for play over that volume knob. But if you pull it out about that far, it's perfect. So that may be what, maybe about a 1/4 inch. If I can find something about a 1/4 inch to put down inside there, maybe one of the springs that Fender has that they put in their Mexican USA made Strats to keep it from going down all the way. The tip was white. I just used a Sharpie and colored it black just to match everything else. And that block, I really like that zinc block. They coated it with something. I believe they coated it with something. And it's just a nice solid block. Off the top of my head with my ears, I can't really tell if it's better than the zinc block that was in it. It's definitely thicker. But yeah, I think they go for about $24 on Amazon. These Wilkinson by Musiclily bridges. I mean, it's an M series bridge. I'm assuming the M series means Musiclily series. I'm not sure, but you know, Wilkinson and Musiclily, their quality control is pretty good. And if you don't want to buy a Fender trim, if you have a Strat that takes a 6-screw trim and you don't want to buy a Fender, there's many companies that sell them. This is a good one. I really like it. So let's play a little something just so. A little latitude. My strings probably need some stretching, that's why they're out of tune. It's not too far out of tune. Alright, so that's it. I know it's kind of a long video. Thanks for sticking around through it all. I tried to speed up the boring parts, which is probably the whole video, but I can't help it. If you like it, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, I'll continue to make videos the best I can. Trying to get a little better as I go, and we'll see where it leads me. Thanks for watching.